volunteer to help out Eric Lamar on my own dime, and I began the learning process of the state legislature. From there, somebody recognized something in me, and they asked me to step up and be the legislative director. Through all this, I'm developing a political network that nobody else in the state association has. Nobody has the political network that I do. But I also recognize the fact that my political network that I've developed belongs to the state organization. And it's my job to make sure that that's transferred to the next group of labor leaders who step up and want to take this job. He used the word engaged. Now, it's easy to hold the president and secretary treasurer accountable. It's a little harder to hold the VPs accountable. I mean, they're not hired by me, they're elected by you. But we're like the point people. So, you know, the buck stops here. And I have been engaged in every district in this state. I think I've traveled to every local in this state, you know, more than once, several times, because I'm a face-to-face kind of person. You know, I'm all about new technology. I'm all about it. But I'm not about teleconferences. I'm not about, you know, webinars, you know, that may be appropriate for some issues. But face-to-face with our members, when they're facing things like, hey, we got a brother here who's being disciplined unfairly, face-to-face is absolutely necessary. That's the kind of president I've been, and that's the kind of president I'll continue to be. You know, we have brothers, you know, and sisters who are experiencing difficulty. You know, and I won't say where. We had a local that had a member commit suicide. You know, and if you haven't experienced that yet, and I hope you never do, that's a tough thing for a local president. You know, it's a tough thing for a local president. It's tough for any of us. But I've been available to go in when it was necessary, you know, not impose myself on them, but to just sit there and just be quiet. Just, you know, to lend the support. You can't do that by webinar. You can't do that by teleconference. You got to be willing to hop in your car and go. And that's the kind of president that I've been, and that's the kind of president that I'll continue to be. So, you know, blessed, yeah, committed. I hope that it speaks for itself. Engaged. I've definitely been engaged. I mean, accountable, holding people accountable. It was very nice today, General President. All the things that he said about us, and I meant everything that I said about him, but I also meant that we don't agree on everything. I don't necessarily agree with what he just proposed yesterday for the BVPs. I don't agree on it, and you guys will let us know, you know, what the position is going to be on that. So, but I will tell you, as a person who has spoken truth to power, you know, can tell you, he's been the victim of it before, I speak truth to power. And because I think our members who aren't here today, I think our members who pay the freight expect us to speak truth to power. You know, I can stand up here and say a whole bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, we represent you locally, statewide, on the federal level, but also at the IFF convention. Because everything that's proposed there is not necessarily always good. We deal with a lot of really tough issues. We got members volunteering in places that they shouldn't be volunteering in. We got members who are responsible for labor leaders being punished. We got, you know, all those things are wrong. No matter how you try to frame them, all those things are wrong. And I'm the kind of guy that will go to the microphone and say, you know, Mike Mohler, President of Virginia Professional Firefighters, Mr. President, I disagree. So that's the kind of president I've been. That's the kind of president I intend to be for the next 2 years. And for the next 2 years, what I expect to do is to groom those people who have indicated to me they appear ready. They appear ready. I have been making opportunities for people to go to all the events that I go to. I hope there were a lot of surprise parties. But through all the events that I go to and sharing my network already with those people. But at the end of the day, no matter how this election goes, I will honor the oath that says I will turn over all records, and those records include my network. Those records include my institutional knowledge. Those records include, you know, those things that I've gathered as a result of being blessed by you in order to lead this organization for such a long time. Thank you.